Hello, 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 hello to all my uniques out there. This is your favorite girl, Akudo. Welcome to today's video. I am so sorry I am late, but I'm going to tell you guys why I'm late. To all my returning subscribers, hello, welcome back. For those of you that are not part of my family, what are you still waiting for? You watch all the videos, you might as well come join us. You see the red button that says subscribe, click on that button. Wait for the notification bell, click on that one too, so you will be the first to see my videos once they drop. Now, let's jump right into it. I see you, I see you, Stephanie, you are here. I see, is that AD? I see you too, AD. I see you, Peace. I see all of you. So let me tell you guys why I'm late. I told you guys the lady that contacted me, she's also a Nigerian woman. She lives here in America and she has been married, I think, either for over 23 years. And then she was the one that was supposed to come and tell her story. But you know the way we Africans are, and I don't blame her. She is scared because people are telling her that, if she comes and tells her story, her husband might go after her. He might feel like he was being exposed and stuff like that. So she decided, she wouldn't come online. She wouldn't come and tell her story herself, but she wrote it down for me. I asked her some questions. If you guys can see them, I asked her some questions and she answered the questions and gave me, detailed answers to the question. Because since she wasn't going to be here, I asked her the key questions and she answered it. My sisters, the way our culture is, especially we Africans, we are very judgmental, and we are being taught that no matter what you see in marriage, you should stick in there. Even if it means getting deleted, you should sit in there because you should not leave. Even when there is adultery, you should sit in there. Even when the man has a baby on you, you should sit in there. That is our culture. And because of Christianity too, we're Christians, the Bible says that God doesn't like divorce. But the same Bible also says that, you should not stay there and let somebody else, treat you anyhow. It all depends on you. So I understand what she's saying, because if she tells her story and comes out here to tell her story, most of her friends, most of her family members will hear her story. And remember, our culture is hush, hush, hush. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Hush, hush. Hi, Masha, Devi. I know you'll be here, Masha. I know you will come to hear this story. Tori, you guys like stories too much. So I'm going to read. As I read along, I'm going to make my comments. I've shown you guys, I had to write to her. I said, since she can't come in person, so I asked her some key questions and she answered, but she told me her story. Guys, it broke my heart. When this lady started talking to me, my heart was broken. So many of us have gone through a lot in marriage. There was one of my uniques when I posted that video. I'm not going to say his name. He's a man. And he came and messaged me on Messenger and he told me his whole story. How he met this girl. This girl used him, you know, did all kinds of stuff to him, and the girl's family threatened to delete him and stuff. And he said he could have come to tell his own story too, because he's a guy, but that he's scared that if he tells his story, the girl's family might come after her, after him. And I don't blame him. You have to be safe. Even though you want to tell your story, you want people to listen to your story, but you still need to be safe out there. All right. So let us not waste any time. Let us jump into it. So she started with this: Dear Akudo, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to express my long, ugly experiences with my marriage. Marriage is a beautiful thing and a blessing from God between two people that love themselves. They must be willing to sacrifice and work together without any hidden agendas in the marriage. Okay? She was trying to say that we shouldn't have any hidden agenda, because most of the time the problem we have is that most people have hidden agendas in marriage. When they're looking for who to marry, they know, hold on a second, hold on. When they're looking for who to marry, they know where to go. Please, as you're joining, remember to like the video. As you're joining us, please give us a thumbs up, like the video, please. Okay? So, so she said that Marriage is a beautiful thing. And the reason why I'm doing this video is not to discourage you. Oh, marriage is not. No, no. I've been married. This year is 25 years of being married. We have had our ups, we have had our downs, but marriage is a beautiful thing. So this is not to discourage you single sisters. Oh, don't get married, though it's evil. No. This is not to tell those of you that are married, oh, start running, oh, it's hard. No. This is just for us to be aware, for us to, like I always say, to shine our eyes. That's all. So the first question I asked her was, how did you guys meet? So she wrote, we met in 1995 when he visited Nigeria from America. He went to his longtime friend and told him he is looking for a nurse to marry. Number one red flag, he is looking for a nurse to marry. He's not looking for a wife. He's not looking for the love of his life. He's not looking for a woman that will be with him. He's not looking for a woman that will love him. He's not looking for a woman that will be, He is looking for a nurse. My sisters, listen real good. He said he's looking for a nurse to marry. The friend knows my family and he recommended him to me. I was in nursing school then and about to graduate. So you see, when those of them in America, in diaspora, when men in diaspora, in America, wherever they are, Malaysia, Togo, whatever, and they come and the first thing they're asking you is, I want to marry a nurse, look for a nurse for me. That is red flag that man is not looking for marriage. That man is looking for a money-making machine, because nurses make money. Nurses make money in America. They make money when they do overtime. They make money because of the way their schedules are. So they have the opportunity to do overtime, do triple time, do two jobs. They can do 3 days, 12 hours here, 36 hours full time, do 3 days, another 36 hours in another hospital. So that's how they make money. They work themselves hard for them to make this kind of money that these people want. So the first red flag was that this man wanted somebody that is a nurse, and he got her. Then the next question I asked her was, how was your marriage at the early stages? When he married you, you came to America. What was your marriage like? And listen to what she said. She said, it was not very good. I noticed the problem as soon as I came to America. He has habits, and I knew that wasn't my way. That wasn't any way I could be happy with such behavior. I told my family, number 2 clues, pay attention. I told my family I don't like what I am seeing and I wasn't happy. They told me that it is like that most of the time. He might change later. Number 2, that is the problem we have. We mothers and we fathers. When your child come to you and say, Mommy, something is not right. I am noticing some things about this man or about this woman. It's okay. It's okay. The way it is okay. He's gonna change. If he's not gonna change, you see, let me tell you one thing I've noticed. You see, when a man is striking you or when a man is getting interested in you at the early stages, that's when they pretend, and a woman also pretends. If a man is not even willing to pretend a little bit in the early stages, do you think he will pretend when he's now married to you? No, he will not. If this man, from the first day she came into this country, there was nothing about him, he had some habits. You will get to learn those habits later on as we go on. This man had some habits that she did not like, some behaviors that she did not like. She complained, but her people told her, don't worry, it's okay, he will change. They told me not to worry, he might change later, but it never got better. I feel like I am raising a child instead of a partner. Most of the time, that man, that woman, you are seeing the signs, my sister, you are seeing the signs, my brother. You are raising a child. You are not in a relationship with a woman, a grown woman. You are in a relationship with a child. She is grown, but her mentality is of a child. He is grown, but his mentality is of a child. When she started seeing all these things, she said, this is not right. But who will she tell? She told her family. What did her board of directors tell her? Go watch my video on your family and friends and your board of directors in your marriage. They told her it's okay, don't worry, he will change. So the next question I asked him is, when did you start seeing signs of trouble in this marriage? When did you start seeing signs of trouble? And she said, I started seeing problem as soon as I came to America. People were giving me clues that I was in the wrong hands. Things like he is lazy, he doesn't work hard, and he has habits. But I didn't want to believe them. I thought they were just, that's the problem. I thought that they were just jealous of him. I thought they were just jealous of him and out to destroy him. I married him with my whole heart and was unreasonable about it. I did not even believe the others. When I gave birth, with my first pregnancy, I got discharged from the doctor. The doctor gave me prescription pain because she had a cesarean session. So she was dismissed from the hospital and they gave her the medication for her pain to be filled out in 24 hours. So she said the husband, because she had a C-section, her husband took the prescription, dropped her and the baby at home and left. She said he was nowhere to be found. I begged my neighbors for Tylenol. I begged my neighbors because she was so much in pain. Remember, she had a C-section. She was discharged from the hospital. The husband came and took her home, dumped her at home with the new baby, took her prescription and left. She thought the man went to go fill her prescription, but he was nowhere to be found. This girl was in pain. She said she had to go to her neighbor to beg them to give her Tylenol, which in Nigeria like paracetamol, something just to help her with the pain. So she said for the severe pain, he stopped working as soon as I started working. Immediately she graduated from nursing school, got her certification here, the man stopped working and started staying at home. She said, when I confronted him about not supporting his family, not doing anything, what did he say? The response is, why should I work for you? Are you a queen? Why? Why should I work for you? Are you a queen? And this will always lead to him beating me several times. This is a woman that just had a baby. You did not fill up her prescription, you left. And when you came back, you didn't even ask. She had to go beg the neighbors to get Tylenol to take that day. The next day, she had to go buy her own medication, fill out her own prescription, call the doctor, they gave her another prescription to fill out the prescription. She still kept quiet. Then you stopped working. She will work, she will do everything. And then when she asks you, are you not going to work? You say, why should I work? Are you a queen? Why should I work for you? You go work. You are the nurse. You go make the money. And then when she confronts him, it will result to him, beating. It will result to a fight. It will result to, you guys know. So she said this was too much for her. Then he always reminds me that he did me a favor. He always tells me that he did me a favor by bringing me to America. If he didn't bring me here, no one would have harried me, let alone. No one would have married me, let alone bring me. So this is now verbal abuse. So not only are you're telling me because you brought me to America, if I didn't marry you and bring you to America, who will marry you? Who will bring you to America? Nobody will do that. So you know what? You go out there and work. This lady said he continued. He said let's now come to the habits. He said the habits, let me see what's going on here. Okay. So he said the habit he has is that he is an alcoholic. He drinks. Do you see the behavior? He said he is an alcoholic. He drinks. He got drunk and slept on the grass outside our house. He has multiple charges of DUI. You guys know what DUI is, driving under the influence. That's a DUI in America here. If you're driving, the police will pull you over and they'll give you a DUI. If you have a lot of that, they will suspend your license. I know we do that also in Nigeria. I don't know whether it's effective, but I know we have a law like that in Nigeria. So he is an alcoholic. That is one of their problems. So he doesn't work. All he does is to sit at home and drink and drink and drink and drink. This particular day, she said, remember, they have kids. This man went out, drank so much, and she said early in the morning when she woke up, she was getting ready to, because she's a nurse, she was getting ready to go to work as early as 6:30 in the morning. She saw something laying on her grass. She thought somebody, maybe deleted somebody and threw the body on her grass. So she was scared. She ran in and called her mom for them to go see, only for them to go see it was her husband. Her husband has been drunk and has passed out in the grass in front of their house. She couldn't carry the man. Her mother couldn't carry the man. She had to go call her neighbors to help her pull her husband in so that he can bring the man in. So all he does is to drink doesn't work, lazy around, don't do nothing. So he continued. So she continued, he does not know what it means to be a man. He has no understanding, no vision, no wisdom, and no plan for his family. A man must have vision where he is taking care of his family. I was totally lost. So I sat up for the family because of my children. And guess what? Do you know that this lady, despite everything she saw, despite what she saw from the very first day she came into this America, she still stayed and had 6 children by this man. 6. She has 2 sets of twins. One twin, one single, 6 children by this man. Because she said her family kept telling her, oh, he would change. Is that not what we Africans do? Oh, he will change. Don't worry about it, he will change. Don't worry. Just stay there. Keep staying there. Keep praying. Have you prayed? Did you pray more? Did you read your Bible more? Did you fast more? Did you not fast more? Have you gone to the prophet? There's a prophet over there. God pray for her. The prophet will pray for you. We make all kinds of excuses to stay there. We make all kinds of excuses to take all kinds of things. Not only the women, even men. This my brother, one of my uniques. I told him to write his own story. So maybe I will come and read it to you guys too, because you know our culture, they don't want to come out here and so that everybody will recognize them. You understand? But that's the same thing. So I'm not saying it's only for men. Men are also going through this at the hands of some women too in this diaspora. Marriage in diaspora is hard because in our culture, our traditional culture, the man takes care of the family, and the woman, they call you odoziak. The man will go make the ako and the woman will dozie there. But in this day and age, because the world has changed, the woman cannot only be odozi wetego, and the woman cannot be odoziak. Now women are ako too. They are making money too. They are working hard and bringing money home too. But it becomes a problem because your wife is making money. Now, as a man, you don't want to do anything. Or it becomes a problem when your husband is making money. Now, as a wife, you want to be otapiapia. No, 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 no. You want to tapiala the whole money. So it goes both ways. Marriage in diaspora, my sisters, my brothers, you don't know what goes on here. Marriage in diaspora is nothing to write home about. It's like everything has changed because of the reason that women are out there being nurses making money. Most men, not all of them, most men now don't want to do nothing. They just want to sit at home and take care of the children. Why most women too, their husbands are medical doctors, nurses making money. They don't want to do anything too. All they want to do is shop and spend all the money. So it's both ways. I'm not just going to say only the men, or the women too. Okay, so let's continue. Ooh, this is my eyes every day. Allergies won't let me. Okay, so the next question I ask is, did you being a nurse, like her being a nurse, did it contribute to the trouble in your marriage? Because most of the things you hear in America here is nurses. Even when they become nurse, they change. So I wanted to ask her, being a nurse, was that where your problem started? Even though you say it started from the first day you came in, because he has habits of smoking Igbo and drinking. He's an alcoholic and he's an Igbo smoker. So I can understand that can impair his reasoning. So, but I wanted to ask her too, what of nursing, that profession of being a nurse, making that whole money, being gone all the time, did it also play a part in the marriage? And look at what she said. She said, I want to say yes and no to this question. Okay. So she said, yes, it affected, and no, it did not affect. So let's hear her explanation. But I will say no. It has more to do with who you are married to and not the profession. She's saying being a nurse has nothing to do with why her marriage was bad, but it has to do with who you are married to. How concerned is that person towards you being a nurse? So who you are married to. I have lots of friends here, and their husbands came to marry them in Nigeria while they were in nursing school. Their husbands are working hard, responsible, and understand what it means to have a wife and a family. It has more to do with individual who has no family values. In my situation, I believe he planned it. He wanted to marry a nurse who he wants to use as his guinea money-making machine. That's what she said. In his own case, I think he planned it. Because how can you go to marry? Some people say that I like tall women. I like women, fair women. I like a woman from a good family. Why would your specification be, I want a nurse? And you live in America. We all know that you want a nurse because you want the nurse money. So she said that in her own husband's case, it was planned. It was intentional because he wanted a money-making machine and not a wife to love, cherish, and care for and have a good living with. It was all about using me. He didn't want any of my family members to come to my house. He basically tried to turn me away from my family, which I bluntly refused. That's another thing we have noticed. But in that area, I'm going to say two things. I hope you guys are listening. Some of our family members, our in-laws, our mother-in-laws, our father-in-laws, our direct mothers, our direct fathers, when they come to diaspora to visit their children, most of the time, I'll be honest with you, they cause more harm than good. You know, I'll always keep it 100. They cause more harm than good. You and your husband will be living happily, managing your life. Once your mother come, and maybe you're the one that make more money, your mother will say, why would you be making all this money and this man is not making any money? Is that why you're not helping your brothers? Because of this useless man? Before you know it, you start having ideas. That's number one. On the other end too, when mother-in-law come from your husband's side and they live with you, maybe all in diaspora, where every one of us work, you might cook and put in the fridge. Your husband will come back by 5 p.m. Maybe you come back by 7. Your husband will come back by 5 p.m., go to the fridge, get the food, put it in the microwave, make his food, sit down and eat. And your mother-in-law will say, hey, my son has been turned into a houseboy. Oh. So you now cook, you now wash plates, you now change your children's diapers, you even give them bath, papa. And where is your wife? She's busy working. Hey, my son has become a houseboy. Yo. She will not understand that this is diaspora. Here, your wife is working. Maybe she gets off work at 8. She cannot get off work at 8 and start giving the children bath and food. It will be late. So since your husband get off at 6 or 5, he will say, let me go ahead and help, so that when she comes in the night, the mother-in-law will say, hey, the village women, oh, madam must hear this. So my son has been turned into a slave. So you see, so both ways they can cause problem. It's only, that's why I say when mother-in-laws come or father-in-laws come, or when your own mother or your own father come, let them stay for a little while and leave. I am not in approval of these mother-in-laws that come and stay too long. They stay and stay and stay and stay. By the time you know it, how can a mother-in-law that came to Lerego or Mogo when you had your first child, she's still living in your house now for almost 15 years, for almost 30 years. And because I have seen men that have been chased out of their homes because of the wife's mother. The wife, their daughter will go to work and they will face the man. Hey, useless man, look at you here eating my daughter's money. But that doesn't mean everybody is like that. That doesn't mean a girl will not take care of her mother. In this lady's case, she said her mother lives with her, but her mother is no trouble. Her mother just stays there, but her husband doesn't like it. Her husband doesn't want family members to visit her. Her husband doesn't want nobody to talk to her. Her husband just says everything, because you're spending the money you should have spent on me. You're spending it on your mother and your sisters and your brothers. My sister, that is selfishness now. My brother, that is selfishness now. Let us be respectful. As long as your mother is not causing trouble, be honest to yourself. If you know your mother is causing trouble in your marriage, let her go back to her own husband. She has a husband. Mama, you can go now. If your mother-in-law too is also causing problem, your husband should be able to tell Mama, you've had enough. You have a husband, go back there. All right? So, but in this case, she said her mother was no trouble. Her mother has problem with her eyes. I think either glaucoma or something. So she has an eye drop she uses. But since she's a nurse, she takes care of her mom. And her husband will always get angry, doesn't want the mom there and stuff like that. So let me tell the fifth one. I asked her, what other factors contributed to the trouble in your home? Apart from him drinking, apart from his using Igbo and all the rest of them, what contributed? You know, because apparently all this man wanted, he didn't want a wife. He just wanted a nurse. He wanted a money-making machine. So she said, his lack of contribution to the family. He is a thermometer and not a thermostat. He will notice problems that have no solution to offer. All he did was point out what is wrong, but has no solution to it. This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, but had no solution to it. He said, number two, he's his unreasonable expectation that I was a superhuman. This man felt I was a superhuman that deserved to place all the family problems on my head. He forgot that I am a human being and a woman that could only handle so much. And I had another sister, one of my uniques too, that told me this story. She is a nurse and she works 16 hours Monday through Sunday. This lady told me that any day she does not go to work and tell her husband, I don't feel well today, let me stay, her husband would be physically upset with her. Why are you staying at home? Don't you know we need the money? We need the money. You need to work. You need to work. You need to work. We are building in Nigeria. We are building in the village. We are building in Aba. We are building in Owerri. You need to, the girl say, Miss Akudo, Miss Unique, I don't even know my children. I have 3 young children below the age of 5. My last baby doesn't know who I am because I leave the house 6 a.m. in the morning and I come back by 11. I leave the house before she wakes up and I come back when she has gone to sleep just to work and give this man money. She said, finally, she said, no way, Jose. I'm not doing it anymore. And that was where the problem started. My sister and my brother, you don't know what goes on in diaspora. Marriages in diaspora is in the hands of God. I'm being honest with you. So this lady said that he was making unreasonable expectations. He wanted me to be a superwoman. I'm doing all these 6 children, paying all the rent, paying all the bills, taking care of 6 children, taking care of him, his family, my family. He just felt like I was a superwoman. I can do anything. And he had no job. He just stayed at home. Number 3 thing that contributed, he said, he was not appreciative of my contributions in keeping the family afloat. She said the worst part of it is after doing all these things, this man did not appreciate it. This man will still look her in the face and tell her, I'm not attracted to you. I don't even like people like you. I only married you because of the money. I only married you because of the money I was going to get from you. That's why I married you. You know? So this and that, she was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But she said each time she called her family would tell her, don't worry about it. Her family will tell her, don't worry about it. You know, she, hold on a second, guys. The family will say, don't worry about it. The family will say, hold on a second, I want to type this. So I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to type something. I am so sorry. So her family will say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Stay there. He will change. He will change. It's okay. He will change. He will change. So she said she continued in that marriage. So you see, my sisters, my brother, all that glitter is not gold. Some of you think, hey, you people are in America enjoying it. It's not like that. Sometimes people don't talk. People don't say nothing, but they are going through a lot. And then she said another thing that contributed, the 4th one, he was emotionally, physically, financially, and mentally abusive to me, telling me he did not want to marry me. It was his sister that made him marry me. Do you know how he feels? I pay your rent. I take care of you. I do everything. I take care of our children. I take care of your family. I take care of my family. And every chance you get, you tell me that you never wanted to marry me. It was your sisters that made you marry me. You know, and then he said, I'm not the kind of woman he goes for. He is not attracted to me. He calls me fat. He calls me ugly and etc. Threatening me that he will make sure I lose my license, my nursing license, and he will delete all my brothers, that they will remain one just like him, because apparently the husband is an only son. So he's telling her, I'm going to delete, I can't use the K word. I'm going to delete all your family members so that way you will not have anybody. You'll be an only child, just like you'll be an only son, just like I'm an only son. He does not allow my family to visit me. He even accused me of stealing his stuff. And remember, this woman still stayed. I know those of you, and I've not looked at the comment section, but I know some of you be saying, why was she still there? Why was she still there? Why was she still there? She was still there because of our culture. She was still there because no matter what you tell your family, they will tell you, stay there, hang in there, he will change. She was still there because she had 6 children. She was still there because she needed to, see what's going on. She wanted to say, okay, maybe if I stay a little longer, he would change. He still stayed there. So these are the four. How many did she give? She said, apart from noticing from the beginning that this marriage was not good, apart from him being an alcoholic and a drug addict with his weed, apart from him being lazy, apart from my family telling me these are the four things. He couldn't contribute to his family. He made unreasonable expectations from me. He was not appreciative of what I did, and he was emotionally, physically, and verbally abusive to me. He called me all kinds of names. My dear sister and brother, before I go to the next question, number 6 question, ask yourself this question. If this is your sister, if this is your niece, if this is your cousin, if this is your auntie's daughter, how would you feel? You do all these things for one person, and at the end of the day, that person still calls you, I didn't even want to marry you. It was my sister that made me marry you. I'm not even attracted to you. You're not the kind of girl I chase. Then go to the kind of girls you chase. Is that not what you tell him? Because go to the girls you chase, let me have rest. I know one of my unique was telling me, hey, but this story she's saying, we have not heard from the husband. So how do we know it's true? Like I told my brother, I said, my brother, I have not heard from the husband because the husband didn't contact me. This is the one that contacted me. And she's telling us her story. We have to tell her story. This is her story. I have my own story. You have your own story. So if the husband sees this video and says, oh, no, I need to come and tell my own story, then we give him an audience to tell his own story. But we are going by what she said in her own story, okay? So the 6th question I ask her is, did you help to support him to do better in life, in business, in school? Because I was trying to find out from her. I know you said he stopped working. Maybe he didn't want to work. Did you support him in other areas? Maybe did you open a business for him? Did you encourage him maybe to go back to school? Did you I just wanted to understand why a man will go from working and then stop working because your wife became a nurse. I wanted to understand that, and look at what she said. She said, oh yes, in an innumerable ways and uncountable times. But like the saying goes, you can only take a horse to the water. You cannot force the horse to drink. I cannot want success for him more than he wants it for himself. I supported him to get better education, to have a reasonable stream of income. He tried real estate agent. He said the man said he wanted to be a real estate agent. She paid for him to go get his real estate agent license. He got that and never worked with that for one day. The second thing she said she did, he said he wanted to go for paralegal. He wants to be a paralegal. She paid for him to go for the training. He finished it and never worked one day with it. And then the third one, he said he wanted to be a pharmacy tech. Never used any of them to look for any job. This is 3. She said, this is the only 3 I can say, but I did a lot. But just these 3. Educationally, he did pharmacy tech, he did real estate agent, he did paralegal. 3 times he went back to school. I paid for it. He finished and did not work one day with it. He went to nursing school. That's the 4th one. He went to nursing school. He said he wanted to be a nurse, went to nursing school and dropped out because of conflict with his instructor. He went to nursing school. She paid for the nursing school. He got there and got conflict with the instructor and said he's not going back to school anymore. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. So he said, all these times we have children that he left for me to support financially. Excuse me. So he said now 4 things: nursing, paralegal, real estate, pharmacy tech. He went to school for all this. He dropped out of nursing. And all this time he was going to this school. Remember, this lady was still taking care of 6 children, paying all the rent, paying all the bills, working double to make ends meet, trying at the same time building a house for him in his family in Nigeria. Okay? So he said she did all this. So she really supported him to make sure that because she said, when she was speaking to me, she said, I wanted him to stand on his own because I know that if he starts making his own money, he will be so busy working, he won't have time to be abusing or telling me what he likes or what he doesn't like. He will go to work like everybody goes to work. When he comes back, he's tired and he'll go to sleep, just like everybody. But because he's not working, he's at home, he will have time to, abuse you, say all kinds of stuff to you. She said, I did all that to support him, yet nothing. She even told me that before she left that marriage, he now said, oh, I want a cleaning business. She went and started a cleaning business with her own money for him. The day he cleans, and the day he doesn't clean, it's almost the same day. He doesn't take it seriously. So the seventh question I asked him is, what role did your family or your family in-laws play in the success or the failure of this marriage? Because I wanted to know who was advising them, who they were talking to. Because I know that some of the people that are in my group, in my counseling group, most of the time we have, by the grace of God, we have put some families together. When they come, we say, okay, let us sit down, let us talk, let us see what the problem is. And by the grace of God, we have done a lot, and so many families can attest that we have put so many families together. So I said, okay, let me know. Who are your board of directors? Who are you talking to? Who is helping? Forget about your family telling you to stay, because they don't want you to go. That's what Africans, that's what we do. But the thing is, who are you talking to? Who are your role models in the marriage? You must have a couple that is your guys. If you don't have this, please, if you're my married unit, find a couple, husband and wife, that have been married for some time, that you like the way their marriage is. Not pretending, the real, they will tell you the truth, not come and tell you, oh, my husband is an angel, my wife is an angel. People that will honestly tell you, nah, itofo, but look at how we did it. When you find those kind of couple, make them your mentors, make them your role model. People you talk to, your board of directors, people you talk to, say, auntie, look at this, so look, auntie will say, hey, no, nah, you didn't do well here. Nah, you didn't get it too. But let us see what we will do. So that's what you need. So when I wanted to ask her, so I said, who are your role models? Who are you talking to? Your board of directors. So that's why I asked her the question. She said, the family encouraged him to stay with the man's family, encouraged him to stay with his family and take care of his responsibilities as a father and as a wife. So the man's family was never in support. She told me that even the man's sister begged her when they went for divorce. The man's sister begged her and said, please don't leave. We know our brother. That's who he is. We know all these things you're saying. He's the alcoholic, he won't smoke, we know all that. His temper, being mean to you, being mean to the children. Guys, I hope you're liking the video. Please try, and it's free. It doesn't cost you nothing. Just like the video. So he said that this side was like, up to today, they are having family meetings, begging her if she can come back. But she said that enough is enough. She has had enough. Since 1995, my people, 1995, 2005, 2015. Is that not 20 years? 2020, that's 25 years. 2022, that's 27 years. She has been going through this. She said, she told them, I have tried. I have done everything. I have done everything humanly possible. I can do no more. And they say, please. You see our culture, please. What are you ask yourself, what are they asking her to do? She should stay there and let this man keep beating her up and one day delete her. She should stay there and do what? But they say, please don't go. Please, we know who he is. We know how he is. Please don't go. We believe everything you say because he's our brother. We know he has bad manners. We know he has bad habits. We know his behavior stinks. But please don't go. And she said, no, I've had enough. And her own family, even though initially her family told her, no, stay, he will change. But when they saw that Egwa, Paula, and Jeremy, they said, no, you cannot stay there and be telling us another story, okay? So you got to do what you got to do, all right? So the next thing I asked her was, what role did your friends and outside advisors play? You see, you have two board of directors, your family and friends. So in this family, we are okay. Her family said, okay, do what you need to do. Her husband's family said, please don't go. We need you. We love you. You are the best thing that ever happened to our family. Please don't go. We know our brother. Please don't go. Now I asked her, what about the other side of board of directors, your friends, advisors? Who was advising you? I want to hear what your friends, that where you live in America here, your state, every state we have, like I live in Atlanta, we have a little Igbo community, like a Igbo union organization where we all Igbos gather. So I asked her, where your state, the Igbos, your friends, what did they say about it? And let's hear what she answered. She said, this worsens the semi-failed marriage and finally brought it to its end. Okay? She said the friends and the advisors are the ones that finally, the straw that broke the camel's back. He said the semi-failed, that the marriage was already at the verge of falling off the cliff. The friends and the advisors now pushed it off. Okay? So she said, it is very hard to find people that really care about you and wish you well in life. My uniques, do you remember what I always tell you guys? Stop sharing your problems with people that don't care for you. Let me say it again. Stop sharing your problems with people that don't care for you. You cannot go. Your friend that is jealous that you are married. Your friend that is jealous that since you have married, you have 3 children. Your friend that is jealous that now your husband has bought you a car. You guys have a house. Then you go tell her, oh, my husband yesterday, I don't like what he did. He went out and came back late. I don't know what is going on. Although he said he was in the office, but I don't believe it. What do you think she will tell you? Don't mind that man. He's cheating on you. Don't mind that man. If I'm you, when he comes back today, don't let him sleep. Pour hot water on him. Tell him, he must tell you who that person is. And you're here saying, hey, where? He said, you don't know anything, you must be stupid. Shine your eyes now. Oh, baby, shine your eyes. That man is, even if I'm you, don't give him food today. Make sure you don't feed him today. And you will go do. Tomorrow, your marriage will be over. Guess what? You will move out. The next day, you knock on the door to come and find out what's going on. Your girlfriend will open the door and say, yes, how can we help you? Your girlfriend will say, You said, what are you doing in my house? Well, you didn't want him. We want him. Mind the people who not tell you our problems, so no they listen. Mind the people you tell your problems. In her case, the person she went and told her problem to fix it is the person that destroyed the whole thing. So she said, there was an elderly man I consulted during this issue with the hope that he will help talk to my husband. But hold on, I consulted during this issue with the hope we will help talk sense in him. Okay? He turned out looking into our finances, and that was the reason I went, and that wasn't the reason I went to him. Why was this man asking me about my retirement account and money? He even told him to stay by himself, that I am not his wife, like my ex-spouse told me. This, my sister, took her problem to an elderly man in their state, a Nigerian guy too. Papa, we respect you. Look at this man. I don't want to leave this marriage because of my children. Can you tell him, tone down on the Igbo, tone down on the alcohol, tone down on this, tone down, find something, the business, cleaning business. Take it serious now, because you beg him for me. The man said, okay, don't worry, I will talk to him. He went and told the husband, why are you even with that woman? She said, no, she makes money. Why is she complaining about you going to go find work? The money she makes is enough. Okay, call 2 of them to come to his house. My sister said the day they went there, when they got there, the man started asking her, how much do you have in your retirement? How much do you have in your 401k? How much do you have in this? The girl was like, that's not why we are here. We are here. Why are you keeping your money apart? Turn to the man and say, if I'm you, I will never let her keep her money. If she works, you take the money from her because she's your wife. This is our board of directors. This is our board of directors. This is our board of directors. What this man did was just put the last little straw, just pulled it out, and caused more harm than good. And then she said, they were not to settle the matter. I went there for him to settle the matter. Rather, he took sides with my husband. He even put in more effort to settle the matter I brought to him. He did not even put any effort to settle the matter I brought to him. Treat people the way you would like them to treat you. That's what she's saying. That's why I tell you guys. What did I tell you guys about 100%? 80% of the people you tell your problem do not care. They don't give a hoot. They're just listening to you. They're just gonna listen to you. That's all. They're just listening to you because you're talking. You know how? Okay. They're just listening because you're talking. The other 10% are the ones that truly care, and they're saying, okay, what do we do? How do we fix it? The other 10%, they are the gossip champions of the world. They will take your story and gossip with it. That's all. That's your 100%. That's why I always tell you guys, when they tell you problem shared is problem solved. Now, lie. Problem shared with the right people is problem solved, is half solved. If you share your problem, like now, she shared her story with me. And I told her, let me come out and do this. She said she was going to come and say, but later she said, no, let me write it, read my story. I don't want to come out there and say it. Now we are reading it, we are learning from it. That is what if I take her story now and I keep it and I go find her husband and say, hey, if you see what your husband wife said, you know, the gossip people, they know how to do their body, as they're gossiping, their body is going as they're talking, they're looking, make sure that nobody's around. Whenever somebody is giving you an information and her body is going like this and she's looking, my sister, run, it's a lie. That one is a gossip champion. She's coming to gossip. Stay away from her. So let's continue. She said the man caused more problem. And at the end of the day, she said, you know what? This is not worth it. Then I asked her, I said, what about your children? How did this affect your children? You see, when two elephants fight, it's the grass that gets hot. When we are so busy doing all these things we adults do that we call fighting in marriage, we keep forgetting that there are people down here who are the ones that get hot, who are the ones crying over what we're doing up here. They are the ones who are the ones getting affected by what we do here. So that's why I asked, I say, how are your children taking all this? Seeing their father drunk and falling on the lawn, seeing their father acting like this, seeing their father listening to their father call their mother, she's ugly, she's fat, and they are not attracted to you. You know, how did this affect them? And let's hear what she said. She said, the situation is hard on them. They deserve to have good parents. Those children deserve, yes, my sister, they do. She said they deserve to have good parents that love them and guide them through this wicked world. The children also saw all his ill behaviors towards me and even towards them too. And that's the sad part of it. Most of the time, because they are so busy trying to do things to hurt their wife, they don't even know when they extend it to their children. So she said, my children saw everything he did to me and even to them too. They know that he will never support them. When they ask him for financial assistance, he will tell them he does not have money. You know, he will tell them he does not have money. He tried several times to fight with them. He was trying to fight with his own children. He called them riffraffs. So not only is he calling the wife ugly, fat, I am not attracted to you. This is now what he says to his children. He calls them riffraff. He calls them stupid, and they can go and they can go to hell. And many other things. Times won't allow me to tell. That's because she's writing it down. She said, I cannot say everything. So not only was mentally, physically, emotionally abusing this woman, but also he was also doing the same thing, talking to the children, verbally, saying all kinds of stuff to the children. Because remember, he wasn't working, he was at home. So he had plenty of time to do whatever. How do we say it? An idle hand is the devil's workshop. So he had ample time to do whatever he wanted. So this affected his children. Now ask yourself this question. What kind of children at this early age? Look at what these children have seen. Do you see that it takes the grace of God for them not to say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to love. What if the women say, the daughters say, I'm not going to love anybody. I'm not going to be married to nobody. Because if this is what marriage is all about, count me out. What if the son say, what? If this is what love is, take me out too. I don't want this. So sometimes we do stuff because our culture say, stay in there, you will change. What this? That at the end of the day, we forget that there are children We are supposed to be role models. Our children are watching us. They are seeing all these things. And finally, this woman said, I can't keep putting my children through this. I can't keep doing this. And she said, no, enough is enough. I've had enough. She says, she went through divorce. The divorce is okay now. The judge said because, and one thing else, they say she has to pay alimony to the man. Alimony is money you pay to a spouse after divorce. They told her she's going to be paying the guy because the guy has never really worked, doesn't have money. The cleaning business is not even doing it. So they say because he doesn't have money, so she has to be paying the man, for the rest of her life. And which is to her is not fair. You put me through all this, but the way America is, you are the one that has a job. You are the one that, makes more money. He doesn't make no money. He still needs to take care of himself. So I asked, and many other things wouldn't. Okay. And then the final question I asked, I said, what advice would you give to ladies out here that are watching today? People that have listened to your story, what advice would you give them today? And look at what she said. She said, please, the world we live in is evil. Okay. But regardless, always do the right thing. Even though the husband who treated her badly, did all these things, she said, regardless, still do the right thing. Don't close your heart off to love. Don't say because it happened to this person, it might happen to me, so I'm not going to love. She said, no, regardless, still do the right thing. Let God be the judge and our vindicator. Okay? I am sure that payday is coming. No matter how bad the man manipulates, God sees and God will reward all of us accordingly. All right. He said, no matter what, even though I went through this, even though people will say, why did I stay this long? Even though people will say, and after the first day you notice, why did you give him 6 children? But he said, at the end, God sees all things, and God is the only one that knows all things. I still did the right thing by my family. She told me yesterday night when I was talking to her, she said, Mama Unique, I gave that marriage my best. I did everything humanly possible to keep that family together. I did everything to make sure that I had a good marriage, but it just didn't work. I gave it my best. And if I've given it my best and my best is not good enough, what else can I give? I have nothing else to give. That's why I decided, this got to stop. I had to go. I had to leave this marriage. Okay? Then she continued, she said, take care of yourself and your children, mothers. Take care of yourself and your children, ladies. Your children comes first. Don't sacrifice the childhood of your children at the altar of being married. Let me repeat that again. Don't sacrifice the childhood of your children on the altar of being married. Don't put your children through abuse. Don't put your children to go through this just because you want to stay there. It's not good for their psychic. It's not good for them emotionally. It's not good for them mentally. It's not good for them psychologically. That's why she's advising you guys, take care of yourself and your children. And then she continued, they didn't ask to be here. Those children they were not there when you guys decided you were falling in love with each other. Those children were not there when you decided you were going to marry each other. They didn't ask you to bring them into this world. That's what she's saying. They are here. So protect them, save them. And then she said, and God entrusts them and God entrusts them in your hands. There's a reason why God gave you those children. Say, God put those children in your hands for some reason. I truly believe that what God cannot do does not exist. Thank you, Shadi. All right, that's the end of it. She said, my sisters, my brothers, I just wanted to come and share that with you. This is a true life story. This lady lives here in America. I live in Georgia. She lives there in the other state. So let me tell you guys something. This her story touched me. The first day she called me and she told me this story last week when I announced we are going to go live. I could not believe what this lady was saying. She sent me pictures. Let me see if I can see the pictures of one time, I don't know what they were doing, and her husband, broke her head, her bleeding, the clothes, what she was bleeding on. She sent me the pictures of those clothes. I could not believe this. And I said, you still stayed? She said, I still stayed. I still stayed because I kept thinking, because every time he would tell me, after all, I brought you to America. If I didn't bring you to America, would you have been a nurse in America making all these dollars? So she said, I stayed. I stayed because a part of me felt, okay, maybe he really brought me here. A part of me said, my parents say I should stay. My family say I should stay. A part of me, I didn't want to be a failure. And that is what most of us do. And I wanted to come and share this with you guys because that's what most women do. I don't want to be a failure. Like if your marriage fails, oh, that means you are a failure. Jesus Christ, you are a failure. No, you are not. If it doesn't work, it does not work. If it does not work, it does not work. You have gone to get help. You have tried everything. My sister, if somebody pushes you to the wall, you cannot break the wall. You have to come back. There's nothing else you can do. There's nothing else you can do. She has done everything. She took everything. She paid 4 school fees. Paid school fees for nursing, he dropped out. Paid school fees for paralegal, he finished, never worked for one day. Paid school fees for real estate, he went, did that, never sold one house, never worked for one day. Pharmacy tech, paid for school, he went, finished, never worked for one day. He just didn't want to work because he felt, do you not see why he went home and told them he was looking for a nurse and not a wife? He went home and told them, please, I'm looking for a nurse. He didn't say, I'm looking for a wife. He wanted a nurse. And he brought a nurse. And most of the time, we have labeled that profession nurse like it's a bad job. It's not a bad job. Nurses are people that care for us. Nurses are people that are in the business of caring services. But we have made it in America, in diaspora, like your wife is a nurse. Oh, Jesus. You are in trouble. Oh, you are in trouble. Like nursing is a taboo. Like she said, it is who is involved and how you take the nursing profession. I have seen so many of my beautiful sisters in America here that are nurses, and they are wonderful wives. They are beautiful wives. They have families. They are living comfortably because their husbands understand that nursing is a profession. My wife is my wife and not a money-making machine. But when you take your wife as a money-making machine, or you, a woman, you take your husband as a money-making machine, so you don't see love, you don't see caring, you don't see empathy, you don't see sympathy, you don't see acceptance. All you see is money, 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 money. So once you don't get that money, you are irritated because you're wasting my time. You are wasting my time. If you're not going to give me money, you're wasting my time. And this is the marriage we have in diaspora. This is the marriage we have in diaspora. I'm sorry to say it, but this is the truth. How I wish this sister came out and told her story. Because reading it, even though you might listen and say, whoa, whoa, but when you hear her talk, oh my God. When I spoke to her, after speaking to her, I hung up the phone and I cried. I cried because her story is the story of almost 70% of the women that are living in diaspora. And my brother that called me on Messenger when she saw this thing, and she called me and told me his story. His story is also almost 80% of the story in diaspora for men. Women are not the only ones going through this. Some men are also going through this, but their number might be a little bit reduced. And for a woman, she can come and tell her story, and people will say, child, because we look at women as the weaker sex. But for a man doesn't want to come out because they look at her, oh, will you close your mouth? Look at you coming to tell us that your wife was fighting you and beating you. Nah, are you a man? Are you a man? We won't believe him. So that's why abuse in men is not even reported. The percentage of abuse in men reported, I think, is like 18%. Nobody reports it because nobody will believe you. How can a big man come out and say that little woman is trying to abuse him in the house? They'll say, come, go sit down. What nonsense are you talking about? So men are also going through it. Men in diaspora are suffering too. Some of them, they married wives that love money. You haven't seen some of my sisters that love money. They will work 16 hours, Monday through Sunday. And when they come back, they don't even cook, they don't do nothing. All they do is money, 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 money. So it goes both ways. So I don't want the men to think, oh, Mama Unique, you are talking only about the women. What of us now? No. I've had some of my brothers too that have called me. This one, I spoke with him yesterday on Messenger. His story was alarming. If you see what this woman put this man through, you will never believe it. Never believe it. To the extent that he said he went and put a tap. Is it a tap? They call it. He tapped his line so that whenever they make a call, because the wife's mother lives with them, so whenever they make a call, he could go. So he said he just went and retrieved the phone to go listen, and he had the mother-in-law telling somebody all the way in Nigeria to go see one Balogu, Baba Balogu, these juju people, to go do this juju, and there's a woman coming back to Nigeria. Give it to the woman to bring it to her daughter here. That one, the daughter will use that one and just finish the man. I'm like, hey, when did this happen? She said the man was crying like a baby yesterday. Crying like a baby. I could not believe it. Because he told me, can I talk to you? I said, yeah. Hit me up on Messenger. And that's when, sometimes, my sisters, you don't know what's going on. All that glitter is not gold. All that glitter. Whenever you hear a man come to Nigeria, come to any part of Africa, and they say, oh, I'm getting ready, I want to get married. Hey, can you please go find me a nurse? That man is looking for a woman that will come and make money, 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 money. And there is nothing wrong in marrying a woman that has prospects. Don't I tell you guys, what are you bringing to the table? In this day and age, you need to bring something. I am the table. The woman say, I am the table. All right? So you bring something, but that is not the focus. Every marriage wants the man to work, the woman to work, so we can build our family, so that when our children come, they will be in a situation where everybody is happy, where everybody is doing the right thing. But when a man wants to marry you just because of only money, and once they get that money, that is the end of it, something definitely is wrong. Something is wrong, my unit. Something is definitely wrong. All right? So let me go to the comment section. I wanted to finish before I go to the comment section. All right, guys. I see everybody. I see Stephanie. Marshall, I see you. Hold on a second. Okay, so I see everybody. It was a real sad story, guys. It was really, really, really sad. So that's what happened. So I just wanted to share that. She would have come, but like I told you guys, she said her brother advised her, if she goes out there with her voice, her face, everything, her husband might see it and stuff like that. So she decided to write it. So hopefully one of these days, maybe in future, she might decide to come where we can disguise her voice or whatever. But if you know somebody that wants to come and tell their story, we will create a platform for them to be safe. We need to use other people's story. How do they say it? A wise man, how do they say it? A smart man learns from his experience. You need to experience it to learn. But a wise man learns from other people's experience. You don't need to experience it. So now that you know from other people's experience, be wise, shine your eyes. Look for the red flags. When a man comes to you and the first thing they're asking you is, when you come to America, will you, even if you're not a nurse, and the first thing they tell you, I like you, I want to marry you, I'll bring you to America. I hope you're going to go do nursing, eh? Nursing, there's a lot of money in nursing. You can be a nurse, Right there, the man is trying to tell you, hey, I want money. You're coming here to make money for me. Okay? Allergies. My eyes just keep running and running because of these allergies. Oh, Lord. So, he's trying to tell you, you're coming to make money for me. So are you going to agree? I have seen one of my uniques that called me. She just came from, I think she's from Abia State. Oh my, she's from Abia State. And she just came to America. They live in Kentucky. She just came she came last year, either August, I think last year, August. So the problem they're having right now in their marriage is that her husband said she should go to school and go start doing prerequisite for nursing. And she told her husband she does not like nursing. She likes IT. In Nigeria, she did computer science. And that the way we do computer science, you might do computer science the whole degree and you have not even touched a computer before or whatever. So she said that she wants to go into IT. That's what she's interested. And her husband gave her an ultimatum. It's either you choose to go into nursing or I'm shipping you back to Nigeria. This lady called me, Mama Unique, Mama Unique, what am I supposed to do? I hate nothing. I said, okay, so that have you explained? Did you talk? He said, you don't understand. I have talked with it since I came last year, August. We've been fighting about this. We've been fighting about this. I didn't get into school. I told him, no, I'm not going to do nothing. I don't like nothing. He said, no, I must do nothing. So now we have gotten to he now gave me an ultimatum and said, I must do it or this marriage is over. What do I do? I said, my sister, I don't understand. Can I talk to your husband? She said, no, you can't talk to him because he will say, I went and told somebody else outside. I said, so have you talked to you? Do you have your husband's people? Are they over there where you live in Kentucky? She said, yeah, that there are two. The husband has two brothers that live in Kentucky. I said, okay, why don't you talk to them and see what he said? I don't even know because those two, their wives are also nurses. I said, Chai, my sister, it looks like you have entered one chance bus. I said, my sister, I don't know honestly what to say. I cannot tell you to leave your husband because of he saying he wants nothing. And I cannot tell you to stay too because I don't know. In this case, my unique. That's why sometimes I come to you guys and say, please go to the comment section and give your advice because I don't have the answer to everything. Sometimes I don't know what to say. I told him, I said, okay, but do you think if you go into nursing, you might like nursing? She said, I don't like nursing. I said, okay. But you can't leave your marriage. You just got married a year. You can't leave your marriage because of you don't want to be a nurse. So maybe you can postpone it instead of going to school this year. Maybe tell your husband you will go next time. And maybe with time, when he gets to know you better, he might change his mind. He said, oh no, the man said he must apply for nursing and go start to community college and start doing prerequisite. And if she doesn't do it, this marriage is over. That the man has taken her green card. The man say, I'm going to take you, ship you back to Nigeria. This marriage is over. Then you go to Nigeria and stay there. Don't you see my friends? Don't you see my brothers? Their wives are all nurses. They all live in big houses. Why don't you think I want that kind of stuff? I'm like, oh, okay. I don't have anything. I say, have you spoken to your parents, your own people too, and hear what they will say? She said her mother said, you know what? You cannot leave your marriage because of nothing. Just go. Maybe if you start doing nothing and start failing and not doing well, maybe he will see you can't do it. I say, maybe. I don't know. But he might be angry that you're not putting your best too, either. So I just don't know. So I said, well, I don't know what to do. Just keep praying and maybe he changes his mind, but I don't know, maybe go ahead, register or I don't, I'll be honest, I don't know what to say in this one. But I wanted to tell that story because I wanted you guys to see how important this nursing thing is. It's so important. And then like I always tell people, if you like one of some of my clients, that some of my uniques that will come to me and the husband will tell me, oh no, she has to go do nursing. I always ask them, why don't you go do nursing yourself since you like the profession? Oh, I cannot go back to school. Yes, you can. You can. There are people that are back in school, they are 60 years, they are 80 years. Since you love nursing that much, my brother, why don't you go back to nursing? You can go do nursing. That way, your wife's money is nothing because now you are making your own money by yourself. And I have one of my sisters that her husband listened to that and went back. The husband listened to that and went back, and he's now a BSN nurse. So he now told the wife, you know what? Since you were nurse and, now you work less hours and let me do, he works 24 hours, sometimes 3 days non-stop, doesn't come home. He's making all the money now because he likes the money. So guys, if really, you really love this nursing and you love that money and you see that your wife doesn't want to be the money-making machine, then why don't you go back and be the machine yourself? Because you can do it. Because sometimes I don't know. So, but I wanted to come and share that story with you guys. So hopefully, I don't want this. Lord, we have been here about an hour. All right, guys, I will leave you guys. Remember, you are beautifully and wonderfully. Stella, I see you, Mama. I see you, Lillian. I see all of you, Marsha. I see you. I see everybody. Stephanie, Dim. I see you. Akindeji, I see you. I see all of you. Thank you very much for sharing your afternoon with me. And I pray that this helped inform you. Go out there. Those of you that are single, please, this is not to scare you away. And this is not to make you feel like any man that comes to America now to marry you, you say, Mama Unique said that you guys want to nurse. No, no, no. And that doesn't mean if you want to be a nurse, you will say, I don't want to be a nurse again. No, nurses are blessed. Nurses have a heart of gold. Nurses are born, they are not made. They are born. That's how you are born, with the heart to be a nurse. If that's what you are and that's your calling, this story should not change you. This story should not make you say, I don't want to be a nurse, or say, I don't want to be married. The only thing this story should do is to open your eyes. So look for the red signs, look for the red flag, look for things. When people come to marry you, don't be, I remember what I always tell you guys, love with your heart and think with your head. Do not love with your head, because if you love with your head, that means your heart is open to think, and your heart cannot think. It can't, it's not built to think. So remember to love here, and then use this head and be thinking, okay, red side, this is not good, that's not, So you can think with this head while you are loving with your heart. All right? All that glitter is not gold. Because he lives in America, he lives in Canada, he lives in this, does not mean he's a perfect man. None of us is perfect. If you see those red signs that are not working for you, he's an alcoholic, he's a drug addict or whatever, try and get help. Tell him, this is not going to work for me. Let's get help or do something. We all have our shortcomings. None of us is perfect. We are all work in progress. But my sister, when your sister or your son or your brother or your auntie comes to you and say something is not right, don't dismiss it. Don't gaslight them. Don't say, that is where marriage is. Just deal with it. No, listen. Listen to them. Listen to your daughter. That can be the difference between staying alive and getting deleted. Listening. When you listen and say, okay, yeah, I see what you say. Okay, okay, let us do this. Don't just say, forget it. That is the way it is. It's okay. Marriage wouldn't the way. Do you think Ndidi, she has not delayed for 27 years of marriage? She has seen everything. Pictures of where her head was broken. Pictures of things. A lot. A lot. But she still took it because she said she wanted to delay and stay there until finally she now, when a man, your own husband, is now fighting with your own children. He has gotten to that stage where he's fighting with your children, calling your children riffraff, calling your children, and now you are now sitting down. Then you ask yourself, for what? For what? You let your children go through this for what? Just to be married to somebody that tells you every day that you are not his spec, he's not attracted to you. He married you because of the sister. So I don't blame her when she said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm done. Although the family members up to today are still begging her to come back because she already started building for them in the village. She started building an 8-bedroom house in the village for this man. Remember, he doesn't work. So she's doing all these things because of her children. But she said no. And now you begin to ask yourself, the man's family telling her, please, you are the best thing that happened to us, come back. You begin to ask yourself, a part of you start asking, do they really want her back, or they want her to come and finish that house? Sometimes, my sisters, I begin to wonder. Sometimes, because you don't know, people have ulterior motives. So are they telling her to come back because actually they want her back, or because she left when she has not finished this? Because they know she's the one that takes care of them. She's the one, their brother don't do nothing. So they know she is like the gold mine in the family. Now they have lost her. They're like, child, they come back because how do you want, if that's your daughter, if that's your sister, how would you want her to live with a man that is breaking her head, she's bleeding from her head, she's miserable, she's falling and fighting with her children, house is not comfortable, and you still want her to stay, and you keep saying it's okay, let her stay, he will change. He has not changed for 27 years. Why would you want her to still stay there? So the thing that keep coming to me is, maybe they want her to just stay so she can finish that house. Just a thought. I might be wrong. All right, let me hear your comments, please. Guys, all these comments, I see all your comments and all your suggestions. Can you do me a favor and go on the comment section on YouTube? Because that's where she will see the video. All these comments you made now will only be on the live chat under the video. She won't see it. So please go to the main video and go write all these comments. Give her, don't be mean. Don't go there and start asking her, why did you stay? Please? Let us encourage each other. Our sister is down right now. Let us uplift her. I want you to go to the comment section and give her some good advice. Give her some good words of encouragement. Tell her that, she went through a lot, but thank God it's over now. This is a new beginning for her. Let her, be okay with her decision, and God will see her through. And just like she said, that there is nothing that God cannot, what God does not do or cannot do does not exist. That's what she ended her thing with. And we believe that. Encourage her with those words, okay? Remember to give us a thumbs up. If you have not liked this video, please like this video and please subscribe to your channel. Share this to your group and let them listen to a sister in diaspora, what this lady went through. 27 years in marriage, just to be in marriage. Guys, shine your eyes. There is something I always tell you guys. Knowledge is power. When you know better, you actually do better. Now you know better. So please, my sisters, try and do better. Please, my brothers, try and do better. Remember to give us a thumbs up, share this video, and please subscribe to the channel. I need you to come join me in my family. You are beautifully and wonderfully made by God. That is why you are unique. Be kind to yourselves and to each other. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye bye.